Okay, I'm going to call to order our Board of Zoning Appeals, and we will start with an invocation this evening. Father God, I'm grateful that we have the city to live in, to work in, to play in, and I just ask your presence as we look at cases before our city and give us wisdom as how to proceed. And we thank you for summer and all the fun that it brings and all the people who are enjoying all the green spaces and parks and greenways and that our city have to offer. Amen. Okay, roll call, please.
Member Lehman, Member Moody,
Here.
Chairwoman Gray.
Here. And our first item on the agenda is approval of our minutes from the April 8th Board of Zoning Appeals.
I move we approve.
Okay, I'll second. Roll call, please.
Member Moody,
Yes.
Chairwoman Gray.
Yes. And our new business this evening is BZA 2024-02. It's a side setback adjustment request for 5225 Silver Lane. And I will pass that to staff to walk us through the case, please.
Hi, good evening. My name is Jason Allen. I'm the staff planner for the City of Collegeville. Just before we start, if there's anyone watching on YouTube, we now have a new streaming service. If you go over to our website and next few minutes in the agenda, there's a clickable link where you could watch the live stream, and there you can see the presentations and follow along with the agenda. So that's something that's new that we'll be rolling out over the next couple of weeks on social media as well.
Okay.
So BZA 2024-02. The petitioner is requesting a variance from Chapter 4, Section 4.053A of the Collegeville zoning ordinance to reduce the side setback requirement from 10 feet to 8 feet. So this would be a 2-foot reduction. The petitioner submitted the following justification statement to support the request as follows. I want to build a concrete pad parking area at the end of my driveway. Will be covered by a carport and ideally follow the existing line of the driveway, which is 8 feet off the property line. Justification is that the drainage easement for the entire street takes up too much space on the other side and behind the house. Only location I can use for the additional parking, see attachments. So he is zoned agriculture, and you can see here the setbacks for that. So it is 10 feet for each. And then here's an aerial view of the property. And then here's the site plan. Silver Lane right-of-way is down to the south of the presentation. And you can see here in the red outline, that's the new carport that the applicant would like to construct with the property line to the right of that. And then here's an overall site plan of the existing home. And then the new carport is shown on the left side. And then you can see on the right side, that's the home existing today without the carport. Let me get the lights real quick. It might be easier to see. Then moving on. So here's a photo of the home today. And in this photo, you can see the driveway. Along this side is where the carport would be constructed. And the green giants, the small ones, is about where the property line is. And here's another angle of that view. And then this is a photo showing that drainage easement. You can see it runs along just a bit of the right of that power pole on the left side of the image. And it runs all the way through to the rear of his property. So here's a plat that's currently on file. This was a corrective plat. The corrective plat was intended in 1994 to combine the two lots that were originally subdivided to create a larger lot. You can see in the yellow highlighted portions, the 20-foot drainage easement is in fact on the plat, and then the septic lines are in the rear portion of the yard. And then in the top right corner, you can see where the new carport would be constructed. So staff finds that Lot 13 of Silver Estate subdivision is a legal lot of record The subject property presents exceptional difficulties due to a 20-foot drainage easement to the south, which is the side yard of the lot, and septic tank leach lines to the rear of the home. A strict application of the zoning ordinance would result in a peculiar or undue hardship on the owner due to the 20-foot drainage easement. Staff finds that granting the variance would not constitute substantial deterrent to public good or substantially impair the intent and the purpose of the zoning ordinance. Staff also finds that the peculiar hardship, practical difficulties, or undue hardship would apply to particular land or building regardless of the owner if such conditions were deemed applicable to this case. Staff finds that the peculiar hardship, practical difficulties, and undue hardship is not created as a result or an act of the part of the applicant, particularly with respect to the 20-foot drainage easement, which was installed when the subdivision was developed. And that concludes my presentation for this. The applicant is here if you have any questions.
Okay. And I have a quick question. We had Mr. Lehman. Is he allowed to join us at this point, or do we just continue how we are?
I'm not entirely sure. I would probably just continue as you are to be
Okay.
safe.
Sounds good. And will the applicant step forward, say your name and address, and if there's anything you'd like to add?
Sure. David Walters, address you said?
Yes.
5225 Silver Lane in Appleton.
Okay.
And the only other thing was, I mean, it's kind of was said here just a second ago, but the septic lines in the back are that's another kind of constriction. So we're kind of bound in
Okay.
on the side and the back, the other side and the back. But anyway,
Okay.
otherwise, yeah.
Thank you. Questions or discussion, or if you're ready to make a motion?
Ready.
Okay, you can go
Okay,
ahead and sit
all right.
down. Thank you.
I move we approve.
Okay, I'll second. And roll call, please.
Member Moody,
Yes.
Chairwoman Gray,
Yes. And that adjourns our Board of Zoning Appeals. Thank you all for being here.
Well done.
That one was pretty easy.
I was going to be too late, but the train did catch me too, so then I was even later. So
Excuses.
sorry.
Yeah, you call him once more.
It's keep your own time. Go for it.
Okay, I'm calling to order our Planning Commission for July 8th. Thank you all for being here this evening. And we will start with a roll call, please.
Vice Mayor Johnson,
Here.
Mayor Lloyd,
Here.
Member Friesen,
Here.
Member Lehman, Member Moody,
Here.
Vice Chairman Givens,
Here.
Chairwoman Gray.
Here. And our first item of business is the minutes from our previous meeting. I'm ready to entertain a motion on that if anybody's ready.
I move to approve.
Okay, roll call, please.
Vice Mayor Johnson,
Yay.
Mayor Lloyd,
I will abstain. I was not here for that meeting.
Member Friesen,
Yes.
Member Lehman,
yes.
Member Moody,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Givens, and Chairwoman Gray.
Yes. And our case before us this evening is a zoning case, 2024-05 at 5243 Little Debbie Parkway. And I'll pass that to staff to review for us.
So zoning case 2024-05, the applicant is proposing to change the zone of the entire property located at 5243 Little Debbie Parkway. The property is currently zoned under two zones. Most of it is shopping center commercial, and the rest is mixed use town center, which is MUTC. The applicant is proposing to remove the shopping center commercial C2 zone and rezone the entire property with a mixed use town center, MUTC. If approved, the applicant is seeking to construct a 9,605 square foot building that would allow general commercial and restaurant type uses in the existing commercial complex. So here's the current site plan. The land area that we're kind of looking at for the commercial building is down in the grass area. And that's the area that's currently still zoned as MUTC. What's currently developed, that's all zoned as C2. So surrounding zone classifications, to the north, you have shopping center commercial. To the east, you have shopping center commercial. To the south, you have mixed-use town center, and to the west, you have mixed-use town center. So you could see that small little blip in the highlighted area. That's the portion that's double zoned. For surrounding land uses, to the north, you have vacant land. To the east is Little Debbie Parkway. To the south is the pump station, and to the west is the apartment complex. And then here's an initial site plan that the applicant has submitted with the zoning. You can see what is not highlighted is what is currently constructed, and the new area in color is what the applicant is proposing. For setbacks for the MUTC requirements, to the front yard, there is no setback required, and as well with the side. To the rear, you have a 20-foot setback. The landscaping that would be required is a street yard to match the existing foundational planning. Screening of the west, which is type B. So this is a 20-foot deep landscape. Most of it's already existing. There's probably 10 or 15 feet that just needs to be planted after this would be approved. And then screening of the dumpster and equipment. So pretty general stuff. So the existing parcel is currently a part of a larger existing commercial development that holds medical offices and other retail uses. The proposed building would sit to the south end of the property and provide an additional dumpster along with additional parking for the entire commercial complex. Staff finds the requirement to be compatible with the surrounding area and points to the existing commercial uses on the subject property. Adding staff use the rezone and cleanup of to create a consistent zone for their entire property would not bring much change. And with that, staff recommends the approval of zoning case 2024-05.
Is there discussion before I invite the applicant forward? Okay. Would you step forward and say your name and address, please?
Sure. Rocky Chambers, good to be here again. With Chattanooga Engineering Group, our office is at 400 East Main Street in Chattanooga. Staff did a really good job covering kind of what we're hoping for here. This is a project we did years ago. It's kind of a mixed-use commercial project. And this was an out parcel that wasn't developed at the time. The new owner is ready to start developing it. We're keeping the same number of driveway cuts. We are, in this plan, proposing another dumpster. We may end up using the existing dumpster that's still kind of in flux for the other commercial center. Like to see kind of a mix of restaurant use and maybe office use in this new building as well. So anyhow, just with that diversity of different uses here, instead of just one big commercial box, it tended to make more sense to go with more of your mixed-use town center zoning than to have kind of a C2 for the entire parcel. So what's shown here on the site plan in the notes is all those requirements, keeping those in mind. So when we're looking at a larger project, a lot of the conversation revolves around parking, right? What do we do with the parking on the site? And with it zoned two different zones, that got a little confusing as far as what exactly were the parking requirements for the commercial campus there. So change it to an MUTC makes that calculation really simple for us. I think it makes it ultimately easier on staff, hopefully when we come back with a site plan for them to review. So we'd like to just go ahead and rezone the whole property MUTC, allows kind of a more cleaner approach as we're going through permitting.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions for the applicant? Okay. I just have a quick comment. I've gone in at that first entrance there multiple times and it's already dicey. And I know we're not talking about parking, but I'm just going to weigh in because I see it like to try to turn left, turn into there and then turn left immediately. I'm not an engineer, but think about that carefully.
Sure. We'll
So
do.
how many parking places are we going to add to this?
What do we add? It was less than 40. It was 30.
I think it was 38. But when you have a mixed use and a mixed use zone, that allows them to have 75% of the actual required parking. So they're well over the parking. I believe they have 192 spaces in total.
And I will tag on to a comment made about parking.
Mhm.
I go pick my wife up flowers from time to time,
Mhm.
and I can never get a parking place because of the business there on the end.
Mhm.
All their employees like to park close to where, I guess they don't have to walk as far. I don't know if anything can be done, but
Yeah.
parking is definitely a consideration.
Yeah, for sure. And we're glad to hear there's thriving businesses that are needing parking spaces. This will end up with a total of more than 190 parking spaces once we're all said and done.
And to the
spread-
commissioner's point, I could talk to the property owner to see if they could have employees park to the rear.
Yeah, I mean, when we designed it,
Side down.
that was the intent, is all the parking in the rear there was intended to be for employee parking. Doesn't sound like that's actually taking place.
Okay, well, thank you. You can go ahead and have a seat. If there's no discussion or questions, I'm ready to entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept.
Also,
We had about 4 seconds.
take your pick.
Second, third, and fourth.
Roll call, please.
Vice Mayor Johnson.
Yay.
Mayor Lloyd.
Yay.
Member Friesen.
Yes.
Member Lehman.
Yes.
Member Moody.
Yes.
Vice Chairman Givens.
Yes.
And Chairwoman Gray.
Yes. And are there any other staff reports or other business that you want to bring to us?
Yeah, again, for anyone watching on YouTube, we have a new streaming service that's available on the website now. Highly encourage you to check it out. It's really cool. You can watch the presentations through there and also follow along with the agenda. I did have a question from a commissioner about training. That's something that we're currently working on because I know after COVID, training's kind of died down. So we might be doing some trainings with other local cities. So it might be a good kind of time to hang out and discuss other options with other commissioners as well. And I'll update you guys once I get that. That'll be it for tonight.
Okay, well, thank you very much. And we are adjourned. I appreciate you guys all being here tonight.
Thank you.
Let's go. It is. It is.
Good. Busy. But good.